So, what is budgetary control? Budgetary control entails the use of the budget to control the activities of an organization that is aimed at achieving the firm's objective. So budgetary control is a key tool used in assessing management performance via comparing budgets with the actual result. So this is a control mechanism. That's why it's called budgetary control. Compare your budget with the actual result and investigate the variance. Thus, taking corrective measures to prevent deviation from recurring in future operations. So budgetary control involves what? Setting targets or performance standards for individuals who are the budget holders, comparing the actual performance against the budget, which is your variances, and expecting the budget holder to use this information to take action when necessary to make sure that the budget is achieved. So when necessary, changing the budget target or performance standards. So that is budgetary control. So what is feed-forward control? Feed-forward control is one aspect of budgetary control. And a feed-forward control system operates by comparing the budgeted results against a forecast. So you compare your budget results against what you forecasted. And control action is triggered by differences between the budget and the forecasted results. So in contrast, a feedback system will simply compare the actual historical results with the budgeted result. But a feed-forward control system compares the budgeted result with a forecasted result. So what are the advantages and disadvantages of feed-forward control? The advantages is that it encourages managers to be proactive and deal with problems before they occur, and it helps to reinforce on a monthly or continuous basis. Okay, so reinforcing these sort of budgets can help management know that, okay, this is our forecast, this is our budget, this is what we expect, right? So also reforecasting on a monthly or continuous basis can save time when it comes to what? Completing a quarterly or annual budget, right? Because if you forecast again, it can help you tell, okay, this is what I expect. This is what I expect to happen, okay? So this can help you complete a quarterly or annual budget. When it comes to the disadvantages, this one may be time consuming as control reports must be produced regularly and labor and time intensive, which you can use as a different point, and it is labor and time intensive. Two, it may require a sophisticated forecasting system, which could be expensive, and it takes the focus of the day-to-day organization. So these are the disadvantages and advantages of feed-forward control. So let's look at the budgetary control process. Now, when you want to do budgetary control, you follow some steps. One, you establish the budget objectives. Also, two, you prepare the budgets. Then three, you create control periods. After creating control periods, four, you keep records of your annual results. Then five, you compare the actual results with what? It's actual results. Keep records of actual results. Then you compare the actual results with the budget. You compute variances and report on them. And then you finally investigate the variances. So 7 steps. Establish objectives, prepare budget, create control periods, keep track of actual results, compare actual with budget, compute variances, report on them, and investigate the variances. Okay. There are 6. There are 6 ways. So how do you address problems with implementing budgetary control system? So there are 6 ways to address these problems. You can ensure a participatory budgeting process. You can build motivation and reward systems into the budgeting system. You can provide a basis for managerial performance and evaluation. You can increase managerial supervision and motivation. Budgets must be regularly reviewed together with their results, and you can increase what? The scope of managers' what? Responsibility. So these are the ways where we can what? Address problems that are what? Associated with what? Budgetary control systems. Now, when you introduce what? A budget for the first time, the accountant needs to consider 1, sound financial accounting systems within the firm. 2, that top managers have support for the budgeting process, and you need to establish a budget manual which specify 1, how to set the objectives of the budget, how to define the functional budgets to be prepared. You need to clearly set out the membership of the budget committee, clearly define the organogram of the firm, and set out the procedures for the budget preparation. So these are the steps you need to consider by what? Establishing your budget model after the sound financial accounting system and management support. So what are the necessary conditions for the budget? Okay. The necessary conditions are that, first of all, we should have full management support or top management support. It should involve top managers. Appropriate accounting and information systems should be there. Budgeting should be flexibly administered. There must be realistic organizational structure, clearly defined long-term corporate objectives, and a regular review of the budget when necessary. So as part of our budgetary planning, a budgetary planning and control process, we need to know about the the strategic planning, sorry, I was saying strategic tax, the strategic planning process. And the strategic planning process usually follows, there are many ways we plan, but we normally follow a rational model approach, right? Where we establish our vision and objectives and our mission. And also we scan our environment. That's our external environment and internal environment, usually to establish what opportunities and threats from the external environment and what strengths and weaknesses from our internal environment, hence a SWOT analysis. Then from there, we formulate a strategic plan. Then we evaluate the alternatives, select a course of action from those alternatives, and implement the selected strategic options. Then from there, we now monitor and evaluate those results. Okay, so that was it about budgetary control. So in our next session, we will start looking at how to prepare functional budgets, how to prepare cash budgets, and how to prepare master budget. A cash budget is actually a master budget, which we are going to look at later. And I'll see you when you see me.